Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. And thank you for you witnesses for being here this morning. I have several questions of Mr. McConnell. And by the way, welcome to Texas. I know you're at Rice University.
25 years, sir.
That's right.
So it's home now.
Well, I went to school at the University of Texas Dental Branch right across the street over in the medical center. And you also spent 31 years at Praxair, I see.
Yes, sir.
It has a strong presence in my district down in southeast Houston. You're a frequent defender of the need for carbon capture, utilization, and storage, or CCUS, technology. There are a lot of folks on the left who aren't interested in investments in research and development for fossil energy, since they'd rather, quote, leave it in the ground, unquote. At the same time, we hear from folks on our side of the aisle who are concerned that CCUS technology is being promoted to reinforce this administration's climate change agenda. I would like to ask you if you could talk about why you believe fossil energy research and development, specifically the CCUS technology, is a necessary investment to maintain affordable electricity for all Americans.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I love the question because I've spent the last 10 years of my life talking about CCUS every time I get a chance. I will tell you that I don't believe it's political at all. I believe it's incredibly important to the future in terms of advancing the ball in climate change issues, because I believe in that strongly. And the IPC has recently come out with a study in Paris that specifically said the greatest challenge for the next 50 years in the world is the worldwide deployment of CCUS technology. Forget about everything else. If we don't do that, we'll never meet our climate targets. Well, that's one side of the conversation. That's the climate side. There's a much more important, in many ways, issue around energy security. If you capture that CO2 and utilize it for enhanced oil recovery, we can produce energy in this country from resources that we have access to. We can produce our own resources here using an environmentally responsible technology and reduce the amount of imported oil that we'd have to have as a country, strengthen jobs, manufacturing, create opportunities for us to continue to use not only coal, but natural gas, which also generates CO2, and all other fossil fuels. It's the perfect storm for a technology that does both, improve the climate as well as make our economy stronger.
Good answer. Thank you very much, Mr. McConnell. One more question. The Energy Subcommittee here held a hearing earlier this month on Department of Energy fossil energy programs. And I wanted to ask if you think that the Department of Energy is appropriately prioritizing the kind of early-stage technology R&D that is necessary to allow the private sector to scale up CCUS technology.
The Department of Energy, in fossil specifically, is dealing with table scraps in comparison to everything else that the Department of Energy is working on. The money that goes to renewables, to solar, to wind, to all the other forms of energy, which are nowhere near as impactful in our country as fossil energy, is enormously greater. And so the amount of money that fossil has to work with is frankly table scraps. And the opportunity for us to take this forward, not just for our country, but sir, I would argue that for the global impact of us as a technology leader in the world, it's our obligation to advance this technology so countries like China and India, where the real climate story will be written over the next 50 years, they need our technology, they don't need our ideology.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentlemen,